Hi friends, how are you? So today in this video I am again going to continue Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone's audiobook series. So this is part 27. So I left from the hat had shouted, Gryffindor. Harry clapped loudly with the rest as Ron collapsed into the chair next to him. Well done, Ron. Excellent, said Percy, Weasley promptly across Harry as Zenny Belsi was made a Slytherin. Professor McGonagall rolled up her scroll and took the sorting hat away. Harry looked down at his empty gold plate. He had only just realized how hungry he was. The pumpkin pastry seemed ages ago. Albus Dumbledore had got to his feet. He was beaming at the students, his arms open wide, as if nothing could have pleased him more than to see them all there. Welcome, he said. Welcome to a new year at Hogwarts. Before being or a banquet, I would like to say a few words. And here they are. Newt Blubber, Oddman Tweak. Thank you. He sat back down. Everyone clapped and cheered. Harry didn't know whether to laugh or not. Is he a bit mad? He asked Percy uncertainly. Mad? Said Percy angrily. He's genius. Best wizard in the world. But he's a bit mad, yes. Potatoes, said Harry. Harry's mouth fell open. The dishes in front of him were now piled with food. He had never seen so many things he liked to eat on one table. Roast beef, roast chicken, pork chops and lamb chops, sausages, bacon and steak, boiled potatoes, roast potatoes, chips, Yorkish pudding, peas, carrots, gravy, ketchup, and for something strange reason, mint hamburgers. The Dursleys had never exactly starved Harry, but he didn't never been allowed to eat as much as he liked. Dudley had always taken anything that Harry really wanted, even if it made him sick. Harry piled his plate with a bit of everything except hamburgers and began to eat. It was all delicious. That does look good, said the ghost in rough sadly, watching Harry cup up his steak. Can't you? I haven't eaten for nearly 500 years, said the ghost. I don't need to, of course, but one does miss it. I don't think I have introduced myself. Sir Nicholas D. Misty Promcrim at your service, residence host of Gryffindor Tower. I don't know who are you, said Ron suddenly. My brothers told me about. I know who are you, said Ron suddenly. My brother told me about you. You are a nearly headless Nick. I would prefer you to call me Sir Nicholas D. Missimi. The ghost began to stiffy, but sadly hired Seamus Figrin interrupted. Nearly headless? How could you be nearly headless? Sir Nicholas looked extremely miffed, as if their little chat wasn't going on at all the way he wanted. Like this, he said entirely. He seized his left ear and pulled his whole head, swung off his neck and fell down to his shoulder as if it was on a hinge. Someone had obviously tried to behead him, but done it properly, not done it properly. Looking pleased at the stunned, looking pleased and stunned looks on their faces. Nearly a headless snake flipped his head back onto his neck, coughed and said, "So, new Gryffindors, I hope you are getting to help us win the house championship this year. Gryffindors have never gone so long without winning. Slytherin have got the sixth cup the cup 6 years in a row. The bloody Baron's becoming almost unbearable. He's the Slytherin's ghost." Harry looked over at the Slytherin's table and saw a horrible ghost sitting there with blank staring eyes and a gaunt face and robes stained with silver blood. He was right next to Malfoy, who Harry was pleased to see didn't look too pleased with seating arrangements. How did he get covered in blood?" asked Seamus with great interest. "I have never asked," said nearly headless Snake dialectically. When everyone had eaten as much as they could, the remains of food faded from the plates, leaving them sparkling clean as before. A moment later, the puddings appeared, blocks of ice cream in every flavor you could think of: apple pies, truffle tarts, chocolate eclairs, and jam donuts, trifle, strawberry jelly, rice pudding. As Harry helped himself to truffle tart and the talk turned to their families. "I am half and half," said Seamus. "My dad's Muggle. Mom didn't tell him she's a witch till after they were married, but of nasty shock for him." The others laughed. "What about you, Neville?" said Ron. "Well, my gran brought me up. She's a witch," said Neville. "But my family thought I was all Muggle for ages. My great uncle Algie kept trying to catch me off my guard and force some magic out of me. He pushed me off the end of Blackpool Pier 1. I nearly drowned, but nothing happened until I was 8. Great Uncle Algie came round for tea, and he was hanging me out of an upstairs window by the ankles when my great auntie Andy offered him a magazine and he accidentally let go. But I bounced all the way down the garden into the road. They were all really pleased. Gran was crying. She was so happy. And you should have seen their faces when I got in here. They brought me. They thought I might not be magic enough to come. You see, Great Uncle Algie was so pleased he brought me my Todd. On Harry's other side, Percy Weasley and Hermione were talking about lessons. I do hope they start straightway away. There's so much to learn. I am particularly interested in transfiguration. Turning something into something else. Of course, it's supposed to be very difficult. You will be starting small, just magic into a needle and that sort of thing. Harry, who was staring to feel warm and sleepy, looked up at the high table again. Hagrid was drinking deeply from his goblet. Professor McGonagall was talking to Professor Dumbledore. Professor Quirrell, in his Asbden, was talking to teacher with greasy black hair, a hooked nose, and shallow skin. It happened very suddenly. The hook-nosed teacher looked past Quirrell's turban straight into Harry's eyes, and a sharp, hot pain shot across the scar on Harry's forehead. Ouch! Harry clapped a hand to his head. What is it? Asked Percy. Nothing. The pain had gone as quickly as it had come back. Harder to shake off was the feeling Harry had got from the teacher's look, a feeling that he didn't like Harry at all. Who's that teacher talking to Professor Quirrell? He asked Percy. Oh, you know Professor Quirrell already, do you? No wonder he's looking so nervous. That's Professor Snape. He teaches potions, but he doesn't want to. Everyone knows he's after Quirrell's job. Knows an awful lot about the dark arts. Snape. Harry watched Snape for a while, but Snape didn't look at him again. At last, the puddings too disappeared, and Professor Dumbledore got to his feet again. The hall fell silent. Just a few more words. We are all fed and watered. I have a few start of terms notices to give you. First year should note that the forest in the grounds is forbidden to all pupils, and a few of our older students would do well to remember that as well. Dumbledore's twinkling eyes flashed in direction of Weasley twins. I have also been asked by Mr. Filch, the caretaker, to remind you that no magic should be used between classes in the corridor. Quidditch trials will be held in second week of the term. Anyone interested in playing for their house team should contact Madam Hooch. And finally, I must tell you that this year the third floor corridor on the right hand side is out of bounds to everyone who does not wish to die a very painful death. So friends, here a reading for today finishes. Meet you in the next video, and bye bye.